Hi, I'm Tim. Welcome to Watchbox and thanks for logging on. If you love this watch, the new main line to the mainspring is tmosso at thewatchbox.com, a dedicated service email for your purchase questions about watches you see on this channel. And today, you see the Nomos Orion Neomatik 41 date, a new model for 2019, at least revised in tech and spec. It features the caliber DUW 6101 that bowed in last year's smash hit Autobahn. Now the watch is substantial, large for a Nomos, at approximately 40.5 millimeters in diameter. You can see on my 16 centimeter circumference wrist. It wears easily because it is a thin watch. 9.6 millimeters thick, though it is broad. You'll see at 50.7 millimeters lug-to-lug, that is the watch's single largest relative dimension, and it has an impressive wingspan for a Nomos, as this watch is full-sized rather than traditionally sized. However, the spacing between the lugs at 20 millimeters is very much traditional, so you will have a world of OEM and aftermarket strap options in that universal 20 millimeter size. Now you can see the strap is a shell Cordovan horse leather strap from Horween Leather Company of Chicago. This was the one specification made by Nomos founder Roland Schwertner. He is not a watchmaker, he's a businessman, but he saw a shell Cordovan in a window and he decided all of his watches had to have it. It's a more water resistant, though not precisely waterproof strap, and it's tough stuff. It also looks great in dark brown with a contrasting red-brown stitch, sheer-sided construction showing the layers of construction, and the buckle, in Nomos fashion, is minimalist. Nomos watches are minimalist, so it's a good match. The case band is, well, minimalist, but as I mentioned, Nomos decided that the lugs would be the standout aesthetic signature of the Orion. And you can see to good effect that the lugs and caseband, both high polish, are sharply broken with a cleft line worthy of welded lug construction that you'll find on many high horology watches. The case itself features a bit of a complex compound curvature and actually has an elegance and a grace befitting a Vacheron. And if you don't believe me, I've got a Vacheron with a very similar case profile right here. And you can even see the sharp break between the case flank and the lugs is present incorrect. So if Nomos is stealing, it's stealing from the best. Now the dial is framed by a bezel that's best described as minimalist, more of a silver halo than a prominent feature of the watch. There you can see it is rolled and rounded in a minimalist domed fashion. The dial is a satin silver, and as you can see, everything is, well, quite spare. It's not quite austere. It has a few different tones and textures to prevent that, but it is definitely going to make the most of what it's got, rather than act in an overwrought Geneva fashion. In case you want to wonder what that looks like, again, I'm picking on high horology here, but that would be overwrought Geneva fashion. This one is all about Teutonic minimalism, with blued steel hands at center for the hours and minutes in a needle-like form that's echoed by the yellow-gold applique indices for the hours, sunken register for the seconds, and then there's a window with a monotone date disc for the date. And I should note that with the DUW 6101 caliber from last year's Autobahn, you get a bidirectional quickset system, which is frankly brilliant. There's also a blocking mechanism, also brilliant, to prevent you from doing something daft, like attempting to adjust the date backwards at midnight. Now there's also a hacking or stop seconds function. The watch is 50 meters water resistant, in case you're wondering what the Deutsche Uhrenwerke 6101 looks like. It looks like this. Just over 35 millimeters in diameter, it's properly sized to fit the case, one of the distinguishing marks of a true manufacturer. Other specs include bidirectional winding with a 42-hour power reserve, a beat rate of 21,600 vibrations per hour, a full balance bridge to add rigidity to the movement as well as better brace the balance itself against shock. You can see Nomos is using Edicron, which is probably the most precise non-free-sprung adjustment system, so this watch can be adjusted very precisely indeed. The 27 jewel movement features a number of different types of decoration. You can see there are black polished elements, satin finishing on the wheels, stripes across the bridges and rotor, and there's engine turned perlage on the base plate. One distinct craft element of the finishing is the use of the fire annealed or fire blued screws. They're cooked in a kiln to create a coating that is half the wavelength of yellow light, canceling it out and creating that blue color you see. Now there's also a blued hairspring, because the blue hairspring tells you not only is this a Nomos manufactured movement, but because it is a Deutsche Uhrenwerke, it is one with their swing system, which is not just in-house caliber, but in-house assortment. So this is their balance, their hairspring, their anchor, and their escape wheel, an impressive mark of accomplishment for a company that was only founded back in 1994. And again, 50 meters water resistant. It's not a sports watch, but that is solidly more water resistance than you would expect for a standard dress watch. The handsome, minimalist, and wonderfully chaste, modernist German contender, the Nomos Orion Neomatik 41, really 40.5, with a date, new for 2019. Tim Mosso at thewatchbox.com to throw this watch on your wrist.